Alrighty, another day, another embarrassment, just another day at the office at Tottenham. But here we are with our weekly Tottenham review. Ben, are you ready to get this show on the road, brother?
Can't we do anything else?
I just what a thing. Unfortunately, a job's a job, and somebody's got to do it.
We're not paid enough for this.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We're not paid for this. But before we get into
That didn't flash it. You had to flash it up again. Flash it up again. Play the intro again.
Tottenham on tour.
There you go. Everything's just going wrong. Everything's just going wrong. Ben, how are you today, brother?
Not a great couple of days for the Kauffman. My event that I was supposed to do, which we talked about, didn't happen. So the people involved, go F yourselves. And yeah, it's a sad day. It's a sad day to be a Tottenham fan as well. But we're going to get through it. We're going to push through it, just like we've been doing for the last 23 years of misery.
Correct. So we're going to start with, it's a very light edition today, but I'm going to hand over to Ben with the news from the Tottenham Chronicle. What's in the news, Ben?
On Sunday of this week, VAR shenanigans. Brighton apologised to by the PGMOL for their absolute robbery, daylight robbery it was called, in when it happened here. Monday was Easter Monday, so Easter Monday was lovely. It was wonderful. Me and Brian did a show. It was great. We talked about old advertisements. It was brilliant. You should watch that show. Tuesday, nothing happened. On Wednesday, Elton John performed at the O2, which was really good. And we were linked with Vincent Company. So I don't know what you'd prefer. I'd prefer to watch Elton John. Thursday, the race for Vincent Company, a man that's never been proven in a top job, is that because we've seen what Arteta has done at Arsenal and backed for 4 years.
We'll
get one as well. And then we him. Yay! On Friday, nothing happened. Again. So, probably a good thing, actually. Yep. No news is better than bad news. And on Saturday, we had the protest today. So big up to everyone that went to the protest. I wouldn't have been there if I wasn't being screwed over by a certain company. And particular booze, which we will go for later in the show.
Yes, so I think that's it from the Tottenham Chronicle, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. I was waiting for the
soft news.
That's a new weekly. That was brilliant. That was. I really enjoyed that.
The news this week.
That's how good the news was. So listen, we are going to have for the first time a special guest join us. A brother of both of ours, a brother that lives in the country that I now call home in Canada. So hopefully Mr. Bobby K will be joining us momentarily. So we're gonna do this, and there's a bit to go through, but we're gonna speak about them and then we'll get through it. I'm gonna give you, Ben, because you weren't there. Obviously, you had your thing that would have been today, but should you not have had that, you would have been there. And I'm going to let people that didn't come know what went on. So first of all, I've got an apology to make because I said, like, when I put my first tweet up, I'm going to put out regular updates to prove to people that the people that say 5, 10, whatever stupid people are there, I put regular photos up to show how it's going. Completely forgot. So seeing that I said that, people that weren't leaving out jumped on my Twitter. Oh, updates. Well, so I'm going to speak about this. Again, there was a good crowd of people. Nowhere near enough. But don't forget, we had one against Brighton. So one win after 23 years eradicates everything. You remember that, Ben? After one lucky victory, that's it. Everything's all cushy.
Which had to be apologised for because of how bad it was.
Yeah, exactly. So we had some regular faces. We had some new faces. a lot more people are stopping and talking to us. A lot more stopping 5, 10, 50, which is a start. But they're not staying. Some are. But again, I'm getting very, very annoyed and very, very wound up with people that say they're coming and don't.
Yeah.
I'll be there, and I'm not saying they say this to me directly, but across all the platforms, yeah, we got to do something. We got to do this. Let's get this going. Let's start. Let's wrap this up. And then they're nowhere. But then during a game where they start drawing with Bournemouth and then losing,
Yeah.
all of a sudden want to find their voice and start singing Levy out,
Yeah.
which I'm all for. All for. But where are you when we need you?
Yeah.
Where are you when we are standing on the sidelines? And getting everything that gets thrown our way. The rabbi was there again. People are there, but Ben, I don't know why. What do you reckon? Why is it people are talking, I'm coming, but then just don't?
It's because they're liars at the end of the day. It's because they're liars. They instead of just being honest, they're telling mistruths. One of the things I've always told you, Brian, if I can't go to a protest, I told you I can't go this week because I have to work. Had I known that my event was cancelled today, I would have been there with you. Probably at the time. I even tell you from the detail, I will be there at 1 o'clock, and I'm there at 1 o'clock. So we just got to be honest with each other. If you cannot go to a protest, that is absolutely fine. But don't tell us you are and then don't, because it makes us both look like idiots.
Yeah.
It makes us all look like idiots, because it shows that we can't even be honest with ourselves, let alone with the people we need to bring over to our side of the fence. If we cannot be honest amongst ourselves in our little sect of the community, we can't be honest with everyone else, because it's been like, you said you were going to have this amount of people and you've lied. You've got to tell us the truth. Please tell us the truth. Tell us facts and figures. If you're going to be there, great. If you're not going to be there, tell us you're not going to be there. And then we'll be like, all right, maybe next time then.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm going to bring in my brother, then I'll carry on saying, then I'll let him speak. So put your thumbs up if you're ready to go, Mr. Toronto. He's good to go. Let's bring in my brother.
It's Bobby.
Let's bring him in. Bobby, I have to say, you are the first guest to join us for the weekly Spurs review. The very first.
You know what? I'm honored because you were our first guest when we even started this channel.
Yep.
So now I get to be your first. So I appreciate it.
So,
very good to see you, gentlemen. In regards to today's game, all I can say is I'm glad I was at work and didn't see a single second of it because
same. I wasn't at work. It was my. It was
all three of us didn't watch the game today.
Let's talk about the game.
Didn't watch the game.
Ben, well, this goes back to what goes on with what you're saying about people turning up, and like I started with the Nottingham Forest game that I went to, and I saw you there at the protest, Ben. I wasn't meant to be there because I was doing the We Are Tottenham TV watch along for that game, and I said to myself, no. I've been to every one. I ain't stopping now. So I went there early, then left to go and do my commitments at We Are Tottenham TV. Well, today I had a ticket to go to the game, but it was my fourth nephew's. It was my fourth nephew Levi's 5th birthday.
So happy birthday, Levi!
And for his previous 4, I've been in Toronto. So I was like, there is no way I'm going into the game because by the time I get out and get to him, it'll be his bedtime. So I was like, I am going to protest because it's what I say I do. And then I'm going to go see my nephew and celebrate his birthday. And like I said, I think there's about 30, 40 people at a push. Started off really slow. Rabbi doing his bit. But I don't see, especially after today, where we even turn from here. I mean, Bobby will know. Bobby and I have known each other now for 3-4 years. And ever since he's known me, people know me in the Scotland Yard for shouting what I do and do everything.
It was the Villa game in what, 18, wasn't it?
It was the Tanguy Ndombele's debut.
So what was that? 18 or 19?
18. 19 was the 19 Champions League.
19.
We signed him
So
after the Champions League
4
final.
years this year then. Wow, time flies, buddy.
So yeah, and so I won't really talk to you about the protest because it's a bit of a debrief I was doing, Bobby. But I am going to come to you. We'll come to you now on this next one. And do you know what? I'm actually sickened and appalled by Spurs fans today. Sickened and appalled by them. And I don't know if you're aware of what's been going on here, Bobby. With
This I heard about. Yeah, this I saw
so-
because Big K sent me a clip actually.
So first of all, the two things are Pedro Porro has deactivated his Twitter and Instagram or all his social media because he had a bad performance. He's taken such a hounding from Spurs fans. He's disabled his social media. He's been here 3 months.
Yeah,
3 months.
3 months.
Davinson Sanchez, who's been here for 6-7 years. Now I know I'm not his. I've tried to defend him actually. I can't defend him anymore, not because of this performance, but performances before.
Yep.
But he got booed on and cheered off.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
And he was in tears. Listen,
was he in tears?
David apparently on the sideline, he was in. And you look at it, and the way I look at this, then we're going to come to you, Bobby, is he's not good enough. We need better, but we won't. A certain person doesn't have the money that he wants to sell him. No one wants to buy him at that price or even at any price.
And for his wages.
And we can't get in a better replacement because we won't spend money. And he gets abuse. And Emerson got abuse. But a man that's been there for 23 years, lied to, screwed us over and over again, has a few thousand go, we want Levy out. But thousands think it's okay to hound people.
Hound the players.
I mean, what's your thoughts on this, Bobby?
At the end of the day, you got to look at the top of the food chain. Who brought these players in? Who put these kids? They're young. You know what I mean? They're kids at the end of the day in this position to be, booed off the pitch and everything like that. So where do we look? Do we look at the fact that we didn't bring in the proper quality from the get-go, that he was never at the level that we necessarily needed to move up as a team ourselves? So that then we got to look at the scouting department and everything and who recruited him and everything. There's the issue there. Do we look at development then? The fact that you just said, Brian, he's been here 6 or 7 years. Why in 6 or 7 years when he came in as such a young man did we not develop and make him a better player? Where did we fail in addressing and coaching him? Oh, interesting. We can't coach him because we keep changing bloody coaches every few months. So that's where I honestly have a little bit of sympathy with Ndombele as well, where that, we brought this kid in to play a specific system. We keep screwing these kids up when they're young. We bring them in, we put these expectations on them. Fans have expectations immediately out of them because we think that we've gone and bought a solid player. When you look at the money that was spent on the two of them, it's over 100 million. 60 some odd for Tanguy and 40 some odd for Sanchez. So of course we're going to have expectations, but we failed. We failed to recruit properly. We failed to develop them properly. We failed to support them properly. Cess left after we finally got him off Fulham after screwing around for 2 years. We finally did the deal and got him in, brought him the money, screwed him up as well, mentally, sent him out and everything like that. He had to go through therapy and everything like that, get some form of counseling, I believe it was, to help him just get adjusted to life at Tottenham. So when you're under the spotlight, of course, times are going to be brutal when you mess up. But when you consistently get no support from anywhere, when you're looking as a player, and I'm thinking of this kid who's thinking, hold on a second, the club hasn't really supported me because they haven't really put the time and effort into my advancement. They haven't made me better. Now the fans are not supporting me. How must these kids feel? How must Sanchez feel? That's why when you said he was in tears on the sidelines, I believe it. And that's heartbreaking. That's sad because at the end of the day, for me, I'm a lot lighter in this stuff than you guys are with the Levy out thing and everything. I've been ignorant to a lot of it, Brian, until I came into the YouTube community. Every day is a learning process for me that I'm here, and I realize how little I do actually know about football, Tottenham, the club, the board, the complete entity, the way things are run. Every day is a learning a day for me, and I appreciate that. That's why I appreciate all of the members of the community that spend their time making content and putting this out there for the fans to see. and giving a voice. And it is only opinion. It might be your opinion. People might think it's right. People might think it's wrong. But at the end of the day, it's your opinion. But it's an opinion to be looked at and noted regardless. So in my opinion, I don't think we've supported these players from the get-go properly.
Yeah.
And that failure, again, goes up the food chain, because then you're looking at different departments that have failed, different areas that have failed. Our medical team has failed them as well. So when you start putting all these pieces of the puzzle together and they start spelling out FAILURE, when you get that whole puzzle together, what can your expectations as a fan be? So for us to turn on players, I don't think it's fair to them, because at the end of the day, I'd like to think they didn't come here just for a paycheck. I hope they came here, especially when they're young. You'd hope they have a little bit of drive and everything, a little bit of soul to them, and a little bit of ambition. But it seems like it's been wiped out as soon as they come here. We take that ambition away from them. We take that drive away from them. Did they have it in the first place? Did we take it away from them? The common denominator is more of them have lost out than gained. So the common denominator ends up being Tottenham. And that being said, I have to say, you have to look at the hierarchy. You have to look to see where the problem is and where it trickles down from. This is a trickle down effect. It's coming down from the top. Things are not being done properly. We keep getting smokescreen decisions that kind of appease the fans, with the Scotland announcement and everything like that. I honestly believe that was just a smokescreen to distract from the Paratici investigation in the first place. It makes me laugh that this club would even go in and get Paratici when he was already under investigation. The only thing I could think about in that situation was, I wonder if Levy would have got into bed with a building developer that was under investigation.
And I have to say as well, when you spell out that word, I didn't know Levy was a 7-letter word.
It's a different letter for you. I know that.
I have to say, I didn't know FAILURE spells Levy, but apparently it does.
It does.
So thank you for educating me, Bobby. Ben, what's your thoughts on this and the way these players have been hounded for a bad day at the office?
It's not acceptable at the end of the day. Whilst they're on that pitch, you support
once
them.
They've got that badge on, guys, we got to get behind them. Like them or not, at the end of the day, they represent Tottenham. We as fans represent the club. We love the badge. We have to love the people for that wear.
They're not good enough. There's only one player who wore that badge that deserved a bit of abuse, and that was Hossam Ghali, because he deliberately took that badge and he threw it on the floor when he didn't like a decision that went against him, and he paid for it. But Sanchez hasn't tried to be crap. He's not deliberately trying to sabotage the club. He's trying his hardest. He's not good enough. He's not in his position. He's not a left centre back. He needs a proper player next to him that's going to make him better. And we failed him, like Bobby said. We have failed him. We've not given him the tools necessary to make Sanchez develop as a footballer. Sanchez was a very decent player at Ajax, just like Porro was a very decent player at Sporting Lisbon. And Porro doesn't deserve any abuse. He's been here 3 months. He's got to learn the culture. He's got to learn the team. He's got to learn his teammates. He's got to learn the language. He's got to learn everything.
He's a kid.
He's basically been thrown.
Well, it's not even that, guys. What you could say to that, if we played the bloody release fee at the beginning of the window when the whole world knew we won, it would have been for 4 months.
He would have had that whole month and the international break to learn his position within the club and help him. We didn't. These don't abuse, because we talk about a lot of mental health, because Brian's worked with mental health.
Yeah.
And doing that to someone will destroy them.
Yes.
Mentally.
We're killing these kids. We're killing them.
The part I want to get as well is it's not even the killing them. It's how is it justified to have a go at them for 3 months and whatever you want to say with Sanchez, who I thought in his first season with Toby and Yao was superb and has had good performances.
Helped him get better. That's what I'm saying.
Mate, last season he came in for Romero for the last 3 games, one of them being the filth.
And
3 clean sheets. We got so yes, he's not good enough. But how can people justify 3 months and a guy gets a whole load of abuse, a few years, and there's a man sitting in an ivory tower up there
Because
that
isn't
gets
it
a
there
few
an easy
thousand of
target?
us?
You got a £500,000 bonus.
They are what, in the words of my father, the man in the arena. They are the people in the arena. They are the easy target.
Yep.
Instead of
Good, smart.
they
Yeah.
are the easy target.
Yeah.
Whereas the man that should be criticised is the person that's allowed them to fail. Sanchez was like you said, when he was next to two experienced heads that helped coach him through games in Toby and Jan, it improved him. Centre back is a role that needs to be coached. It's not. You don't naturally become that. You're not naturally Maldini. You've got to be coached. You've got to be nurtured. You've got to work in a system that's good for you. It's got to work. But why are we abusing Sanchez, not Eric Dyer? I don't want any player abused. But Dyer is there every week throwing these clangers. Every week he's throwing these clangers. You don't
And he's
abuse
going to
him.
get a new contract, Ben.
He's going to get a new contract. They should
He's
both
gonna get a new contract.
both of them are not good enough. But why are we abusing Sanchez? Why are you abusing Sanchez?
Well,
We shouldn't be abusing anyone. We should be criticising their performances, of course. When you're earning that much money, you can criticise their performance, but don't do that to them. It's not acceptable.
Well, on top of it, Ben, he's not playing consistent football. We expect him to come off and we expect him to perform the
Like
second we
Maldini.
need him. Players aren't on-off switches. You know what I mean? Yes, maybe when you look at guys like Messi and Ronaldo, as they get on later in the years, they become bench players you can bring on in the last little bit and expect something out of them. But there's very few players that can do that. When you have this kid who's not playing consistent football, is not learning his trade, is not learning what he's supposed to be doing, how do you not expect him to make mistakes? Any of us go into any job and we don't get the proper training we need, we're going to make mistakes.
correct.
And that's how I feel about almost a lot of players.
On-off, only one player I have seen in my history of watching football of 27 years has been able to come on and be the best player on the pitch, and it was Ledley King. And Ledley King was a freak. He was a freak of a footballer, how good he was.
And you know what?
Ledley King. He's not Ledley King. Not even Maldini would do something like that. But Ledley King had to because of his injuries and whatnot.
Yep, but we're gonna move on from there because I know, Bobby, you've got your show shortly. So
we've got an hour.
We're gonna make sure we do that. But I was speaking to Nick and a few people yesterday and today. Nick today, and when we're speaking about the game, and I said, I did this on a space yesterday. I said, do you know what? The most important word that's going to come into the next 4 games or the rest of the season for Tottenham Hotspur is the word desire. I said to Nick today, going into the game, is Bournemouth's desire to stay in the Premier League higher than Tottenham's desire to finish with a bang like we did last season, to finish with a flurry? Then we go to Newcastle. Is Newcastle's desire going to be more to get into the Champions League and after one season of having these new owners than Tottenham? And we know what the players are like away. If it's a little bit of pressure, we'll collapse. Then United, then Liverpool. And I said, you know what, Nick? I don't think we have any desire. In fact, we're free from desire. Tottenham Hotspur terrifies you. Free from desire. Tottenham Hotspur terrifies you. You look at it today, and you would think, pound for pound, player for player, this is a Tottenham Hotspur win.
Easy.
At home, you would think it. Now, obviously, we know the Premier League is a wonderful league, and on any given day, anyone can beat anyone. But you would think as well, with Newcastle getting a tonkin by Villa, and big up to Unai Emery, an ex-Arsenal manager, big up to him, who's come in with one defender, but one player, and has coached those players to be better. These players are getting, like you said, Bobby, I haven't got a manager long enough to coach them. And when they do coach them, it's a different style every time. But this word desire, we have none of it, do we, Ben? Absolutely none.
And I want to big up a certain player that plays for Aston Villa, Tyrone Mings. People were saying, giving him abuse as well. People on the radio and in our community were saying, if Tyrone Mings wasn't left-footed, he'd be a bricklayer.
Yeah.
Look how good Tyrone Mings has been when you've put a proper coach on there.
Really?
Yeah.
People actually said that about him?
Yeah, people said that on the radio. You know who you are. Look how good Aston Villa are. They went to against Newcastle and they battered them. We're not going to batter Newcastle. I don't know. Let's say Aston Villa could get in the Champions League. Realistically, it's mathematically possible.
Yep.
Mathematically possible.
And we've got to play him, Ben. We've still got to go to Villa Park.
We're going to get battered by them.
We're
We
gonna
got battered by them at home. They're going to beat us.
But Ben, go back to us. Go back to us. Where's our desire? I think our desire is to get the season over and done with, isn't it?
We have too many players that don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. They really don't care. The Eric Dyers, the Ben Davises of the world. They're just not good enough. They are in the leadership positions of our football club. Why the hell is Hugo Lloris playing? We looked so much better with Fraser Forster in goal. Tremendously better. As soon as Lloris has come in, we've stopped. We look terrible. Yes, we weren't good with Fraser Forster in goal either, but now we look shaky at the back. We're suddenly making little defensive mistakes now that Hugo Lloris is back in. That's our captain, by the way. That's our captain. Our captain knows he's leaving this year, probably. He doesn't want to be here for the Champions League. He's not going to be here. He doesn't care. Our players don't care. Harry Kane probably thinks, hopefully, I get an offer in. If I play crap and I don't finish in the Champions League, maybe someone will give us an offer and I'll take it. Probably. There's only one player that I think had desire today, and that was Son Heung-min, which is why he scored. That's the only thing that's good about this football club. And
well, I'm hearing after he scored, he pretty much fell off the map too. So,
yes, Sonny has had a poor season, but we have no right to abuse him, and we have been abusing him. I've not abused him. I've critiqued his performances, but he has shown desire. When someone asked him about Mr. Conte getting sacked, he put the blame on himself because he cares.
Yeah.
Only one player in our squad cares. Well done. Højbjerg, soft hard man, get him out of the club. Like people think, oh, look how good Højbjerg is. He's crap.
Yeah, you know how I feel about him, and how Pape Matar, who was for me the best player in Milan, the best player in the North London derby that you were at, Bobby.
Not going to run, yeah.
And he's now can't get on the pitch. But Bobby, what's your thoughts? Where we are with desire?
Forget desire. How about intensity? How about any kind of pride? How about any kind of commitment? How about any kind of anything, any energy? It's just lackluster. It's walking football. It's Sunday afternoon playing with my mates out there kind of thing. Happy to collect my paycheck and go home. It's okay. We'll get them next week kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And again, where does that mentality set in from? Where has it seeped in from? You know, Conte said it. Mourinho said it.
Stellini said it today.
Right? Stellini said it today?
Yep.
So there you go. So we got our own managers basically questioning our players' desire. And when you look at how many of these players and how long they've been here, what desire is it for them to have? Regardless of what happens, they're getting paid the same.
Yep. But I
mean, why break my back when the guy beside me is not?
I have to say, Ben, you just said Stellini, I want him gone as well now. I want him gone because he came out with a comment today, and he said the mistakes that we're making aren't tactical; they're individual errors.
Yep.
So these individual errors that are costing us, I guarantee you
said that as well.
But I guarantee you, Ben and Bobby, that the starting lineup against Newcastle
will be exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, so wait a minute. If these people are making personal errors, if we all make a fuck up in our jobs, there's disciplinaries, there's suspensions, it's like, did you fuck up? Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, there's no repercussions. Just go out next week and don't do it again. Don't worry if you do, because there'll be no account. Don't worry. Just you carry on. Just at least you tried. It's ridiculous. And Joe, what, we've got one more topic, but then we're going to end on a nice thing. I've just uploaded something, which we'll end on a positive. But the last one is, what's next make this stop. So where do we go? Where do we go from here, Bobby? What's next? What's next in this shit show?
Isn't that the $1 million question, Brian? Because I don't know. Because I don't know what direction my club's headed in. I don't know what the agenda is. I don't know what the plan is, if there is a plan. We keep being rumored to players, linked to players when we don't have a manager. We're looking at players to bring in for what system so that they could come in and we could shift them into a position that they're not the right player for. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So when it stops, at this point, I would say August, when the new season starts.
Yeah, because as soon as the transfer window starts, we don't buy players. Yay!
You know, it's or we buy the wrong ones, bring in a manager, buy the players for him, get rid of him by January, and then we can start again. It's all in reality, guys. We're in the same spot we were
pre-Poch,
starting 23 years ago. Hope and pray.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben,
hope that Scotland comes in and is unleashed. Hope that he's not just a puppet. Hope that he is allowed to actually make footballing decisions. And let's hope that he has the football knowledge that apparently a lot of these journalists are giving him the credit for. That they're saying, you know, they're piping him up, saying he's wonderful, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Now, so that's all we can do is hope that that's all true. Hope that he is allowed to do his job without being microscoped and micromanaged. And it's, you know, I is there any of us that think there's anything left in this season other than just seeing how far we fall? You know, I think for us, I personally, as bad as this is going to sound, is I don't know why we're even pushing for top four other than the money, because we're not gonna do well in Champions League unless we do an overhaul in the summer, which is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So with all the moving parts right now that are not settled, it's almost impossible to say where it's going to stop.
Outside of Europe, not even in the
Conference League.
If we finish outside the Conference League, then they will act because they will realise, oh God, we've got no European money. We've got to secure that for next year.
I want them to get Conference League. I want them, and why I say Conference League, I want them to go to these subpar places in Europe and have to sit on benches where they don't have the underseat heating to keep their tushies nice and warm, and the only way they can keep warm is warming up. I want them to go Thursday nights to Sodoffsville in Eastern Europe, Sodoffsville in Eastern Europe, or wherever it may be on a Thursday night, and get in late and play in these not nice warm climates like Spain. Go to Bratislava, go to Estonia, go to Georgia, go eat some humble goddamn pie.
Just go.
No, because this is where I'm getting with this is, and I said this on We Are Tottenham TV. There are fans in this country that will go to Newcastle on Sunday. The game is Sunday afternoon, I think 4 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
So that'll finish at like 7 o'clock. They will drive home and get home about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and go to work the next day.
Yeah.
Because it's what they do to support this club.
Oh, that sounds like desire.
Yeah. There you go. Whereas these players, and I'm waiting. I put a tweet out to say, let's play excuse bingo. Let's see if Lloris comes out or Kane comes out or Stellini and says, we grow, we learn from this, we come back bigger and better.
You know
we work. And I want us to get Conference League. I want us to go to, like I said, Sodoffsville, give a shitville.
Carabag.
Go to Macedonia, go to all these places and think, what am I doing here? And then sit down and go, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing here. I fucked up. I screwed up. They earn more.
Do you think they'll take the accountability, Brian? Because that's the point. I don't think.
Bobby, they earn more in a week than some of us will see in a lifetime.
Yeah, well, we know that.
And they're just like, but do you know what? This is going to keep on going until shit goes on and people come and join us for the last two protests, which will be, I'm even thinking of taking a half-day Manchester United and setting up for Man U. It's hard to do it on a week, on an evening game because work commitments, whatever. But the last 2 games, we're doing it. But before we finish, and Bobby, promote your channel, and Ben obviously promoting the coffee house, I said we're going to end up with a lighter note. And I've got a video to show. Now, Ben, you're like this because I know your nephew's done it. So just going to show you a video from earlier today where after I left the protest, my beautiful nephew's birthday, and he wanted to record something. So this is what we recorded. So today I am with a very, very special boy. It's his birthday today. It's his 5th birthday. And I have been in Toronto, Canada for every single one of his birthdays. Except for today, eh? So, happy birthday, Levi.
Thank you.
How old are you today?
5.
5. Okay, and have you had a good day?
Yes.
Good. And say, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Leave you out.
Leave you out.
Happy birthday, Levi.
Happy birthday, Levi.
Happy birthday, Levi.
Mate, I have to be very careful with his name being Levi. I have to make sure he doesn't say Levi out.
Yeah. I love that. Happy birthday,
you know
Levi.
what?
Oh.
I just doing that with him, and he wanted to take silly photos, and I had a lot more fun today than I would have done if I went into that entertainment complex
Oh,
with
yeah,
a
he's in a
portfolio.
different mood right now, from what I
With
know.
with a portfolio that may play some football on the side, but it's been another week of the Tottenham review. We'll be back next week with some more disappointing news and Ben throwing newspaper with a great insight. But before we go, Bobby, first of all, you know you're a very, very important person in my life, and
Likewise, brother.
having you as the first guest on the show is always going to be there. But Bobby, tell everyone about your wonderful channel.
First off, humbled and honored. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Always a pleasure coming on. Always spending time with the Kauffman is always a delight and a treat. So yeah, we're the number 3 Spurs boys over here. Brian's cast off channel that he helped start with me and the boys, that he inspired, I should say. So thank you for that. Yeah, and there it is right there. And yeah, we're a little bit lighter, have a little bit of fun. We've got our every second, as you guys call it, every fortnight. Every fortnight Saturday show with myself and Kuva, of course, called Kuva and the Kang, in the bull. Just talk a little bit of football and just try to have a laugh, keep it very light. The kids do a show called Off the Pitch, which unfortunately hasn't been done in a while because of big man school commitments, but we will be hopefully bringing that back soon. And yeah, we just try to keep things light and smile as much as we can, because God knows if we just talk only about Tottenham, we would be miserable right now. So
yeah,
so come on over and have a laugh. And
thank you for putting in the private chat, Bobby, about putting the banner down, because I forgot to put it down. So it
I was covering his cute little face. That's why. Sorry.
So once I've done my leave you out, we're going to end.
Show it again.
Watching the video again, because I can't have that. Ben, you tell everyone where they can find you and what to expect on the Coffee House.
So, yes, you can find us at the Coffee Company on YouTube. This week is going to be a very, very important week for the Coffee Company, because this week is London Coffee Festival, the most caffeinated event of the summer, as I call it.
Good luck.
I will be there on Sunday at the La Marzocco booth, True Artisan Cafe, and we're going to be making some coffees and showing some of our wonderful coffees. On the Coffee Company, me and the man at the bottom have a podcast which we call Brewing Bollocks with Mr. Kuva, which we do every Monday at the moment, which will be moving to a Tuesday or a Wednesday very soon because Bobby's shifts will change. We don't know. Who knows? Who cares, to be honest? But
bollocks. We brew it when we want.
yeah, we want it. And
he brews when he wants.
He brews when he wants. He's the cough. He brews when he wants.
There you
Hey.
Follow us at the Coffee Company on YouTube, at the Coffee Company, Kauffie Company, and you can find us at 8 the Broadway, Woodford Green, for all your coffee needs. And let's be nice to each other. Let's have fun, and let's be good people.
100%.
Exactly. And I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to have Levi do it before I do Levy. So happy birthday, Levi. So today I am with a very, very special boy. It's his birthday today. It's his 5th birthday. And I have been in Toronto, Canada for every single one of his birthdays. Except for today, eh? So Happy birthday, Levi.
Thank you.
How old are you today?
5.
5. Okay, and have you had a good day?
Yes.
Good, good, good. As they come on you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Leave you out.
Leave you out.
Happy birthday, Levi.
Happy birthday, Levi.
That's the best part.
And as always, Levy out. So, Tottenham on tour.